Welcome to the training. My name is Reed Sassenberg and I'm the founder of Married Ambition. In this training, we're going to be discussing the first 3 steps you must take when your wife said she wants space, separation, or a divorce. So listen up to this video. It's going to give you the critical steps you need to take, okay? Now, if you're watching this video, your wife has recently said that she wants space, separation, or a divorce. You're probably experiencing one of the most painful and confusing moments of your life. Okay, your mind is racing, you're riddled with anxiety and your heart is broken. You can't eat properly, you can't sleep, and you're feeling completely hopeless about the situation. This was me in 2020. I was in this exact position and I turned my situation around by doing the work on myself and understanding what I needed to focus on. That's what we're going to go through in this video for the first 3 initial steps that you need to take. So, in the current situation or predicament you're in, okay, you don't know whether to fight for the marriage, to give her space, have another conversation, send another message, or completely walk away and burn the boats. So your one and only job at the moment, to make this very clear for you, is to not make your situation worse. If your goal is to reconcile down the line, your one and only goal right now is to not make your situation worse. Okay, you're not going to reconcile tomorrow. You're not going to reconcile next week. You need to focus on the long-term game plan here. Okay, so this is going to give you the initial steps that you need to take once she has said these words to you. I want separation, I want space, or I want a divorce. Okay, the good news is that the actions you take next, the actions you take next can dramatically impact the direction of your marriage long term, and it can put you in a position to keep your family together down the line. Okay, prevent the divorce, keep your house together, prevent you losing all your assets, keep the family together. That's why you're listening to this video. And like I said, in this video, I'm going to lay out the exact steps you need to take right now. So let's get into it. Step 1, stop the pressure immediately. Okay, here's the critical principle. Pressure will create further distance. The more you pressure her, the further she will move away, the more emotionally withdrawn she will become. Okay, the more pressure she feels, the further she moves away. That's the principle. So when a wife is saying that she wants space, separation, or a divorce, most guys go into a full-blown panic. Completely understandable. So they beg, they plead, they over-explain. They constantly bring up the relationship, they make promises, and they constantly seek validation and reassurance that the relationship is moving in the right direction towards reconciliation. Okay? All of these actions, every single one of these actions is stemming from fear. And they create the exact opposite result you're looking for. So the more pressure she feels, the more distance she wants. So instead of trying to convince her, you need to show her that you can handle this situation with strength and emotional control. The key word here is emotional control. Every cell in your body is fighting to want to talk to her, to want to convince her, to use logic, to change her mind about her decision. That's not how this works, okay? You have to remove the pressure, and then she can start feeling safer around you and she can start opening up more, okay? Now, if she says the words, I want separation, divorce, or space, okay, a simple response. Here's a simple script for you to follow, understanding this critical principle of pressure and how it creates more distance. What you would say in that situation is, I hear you, I understand you're unhappy, I'm not going to pressure you or force anything. I'm going to focus on becoming a better man regardless of what happens. And then you leave it at that. If she wants to continue the conversation, obviously continue the conversation. But you do not become emotional. You have to give her the space here. You have to really remove any pressure moving forward from this point. Okay, so for the next 7 days, no begging, no convincing, no emotional outbursts, no consistent, incessant relationship talks initiated by yourself. No seeking reassurance, no seeking validation, no asking, are you still moving out? Are we still together? What's going on? Are we separated? Are you keeping your rings on? Are you taking your ring off? Okay, you must become emotionally steady. That means removing the pressure in the environment. That means getting a control of your emotions. So once we pull back and we have ceased pressuring her excessively, and when we've removed all pressure from our strategy here, okay? Step 2 is about giving her space the correct way. So back to step 1, if I say remove pressure, what some guys will do is they'll become completely distant, withdrawn, and cold. That's the wrong move. Here's the correct way you give her space, okay? Here's the critical principle first. Emotional safety, which is probably the core issue as to why she wants out of the relationship. Emotional safety can only grow when the pressure disappears. Now, you pulling back and being cold, distant, withdrawn is also a form of pressure. And most men misunderstand this concept, okay? They think that if they stop pursuing her, that, that's sort of what I need to be focusing on. It's not. Okay, you need to create an environment that's easy, that's light, that's positive. Okay, so the other issue is that if guys think they pull back from the relationship and they give her that space, that she's going to leave, she's going to pursue other options, she's going to, they'll lose the marriage. That's not true either. So she's in the middle of a huge life shift here with you. Okay, she's really contemplating her decision, and she's looking for evidence to confirm the decision she's making. So do not give her that evidence. So you don't text more, you don't talk more, you don't push harder, you don't seek more reassurance, as we've spoken about. This does one thing: it creates pressure for her, and that will further destroy the attraction. And that's further going to damage the emotional safety. Okay, so what most women mean when they ask for space is that they need relief from the emotional tension, from the emotional conflict, from the pressure in the relationship. So you creating more pressure, what do you think that's going to do? It's going to push her further away. Okay, so the key to giving her space the correct way is really respecting her request without becoming cold, bitter, or withdrawn. You need to be calm. You need to be respectful. You need to be cooperative with your logistical shared responsibilities. Kids, housing, all that stuff. You need to be cooperative, and you need to stop chasing her emotionally. Ironically, and I've seen this hundreds of times, when she no longer feels pressured by you, she becomes more open to interacting with you, leading to further opportunities for you to exhibit the changes required to save the relationship long term. So if you don't pull back and start really focusing on building safety in a positive environment, you're not even going to get to step 1 here, which is where she starts opening up a bit more because she feels a bit of emotional safety. And the way this works is that it goes from emotional safety to where she can then start being open with you. She starts feeling a bit more trust. And then through her openness, you can start building connection back in the relationship. Once the connection comes back, she starts feeling a bit more attraction towards you. She starts admiring and enjoying being around you. And that's how we start moving towards the reconciliation, okay? But here we're talking about how do we give her space the correct way. As I said, when she no longer feels pressured by you, okay, she begins opening up more, leading to further interaction, further opportunities for you to exhibit the change. So what do we need to stop doing here immediately? Okay, constant texting, asking where you stand, monitoring her behavior, forcing relationship conversations, looking for reassurance. Your job, your one and only job here in step 2 is to create a safe, light, easy-going environment. And you need to be consistent with that. Step 3 is about focusing on change. So step 1, we've removed pressure. Step 2, we're giving her space the correct way. Okay, and step 3 is about focusing on change, because you've got yourself into this situation where she wants out of the relationship, where she said she wants space, separation, or divorce. You need to understand and become extremely aware as to why you've got to this position. And here's the critical principle, okay? Change creates attraction, not promises. So you can't talk your way into her believing in your changes. It has to be exhibited through behavioral change consistently from yourself. This is the problem most guys have when they're trying to save their marriages. They focus on changing her mind. You can't do that. You can't verbally try to explain away a behavioral issue. What you need to focus on is controlling the controllable, which is yourself. That means you. And I've seen this countless times. The men who succeed focus on changing themselves. What happens is when you change yourself, you change the environment. That's a shared space with you and your wife. Once you can change the environment, it's light, it's easy, it's emotionally safe. That's where she can reconnect. So focus on changing yourself. And the truth is, right, marriages don't break down because of one conversation, because of one act. They break down because of repeated patterns which make her feel a certain way. What are these patterns? Your emotional reactivity, your inability to deal with your traumas, your patterns from the past that you've learned to operate from, which protects your ego, protects you, and protects your insecurities. So you become emotionally reactive to protect those wounds. And that destroys the emotional safety for her in the relationship. Because she's looking for leadership. That's what all women are looking for in the relationship, leadership. So your defensiveness destroys the leadership. That is literally the definition of a lack of leadership, being defensive. A leader takes action and is convicted in where he's going and what he's doing. Poor communication, taking her for granted, losing your purpose and your direction, and failing to create emotional safety and destroying emotional safety in the relationship through your emotional responses and reactions and your lack of follow through on what you say, your lack of presence. Your wife doesn't need more promises from you verbally. Okay, she needs to see change. She needs to feel change. She needs evidence for that, for the change. If you're supplying evidence that is backing up her decision to leave, it's a matter of time before the divorce will be confirmed, the nail in the coffin, based off your behavior. And this is really this is what it comes down to. Is your behavior showing change, or is it confirming her decision? Every single interaction is doing one of those two things. So she needs to see consistent change over time. The question isn't how do I get her back? The question is what kind of man do I need to become? I need to focus on change, which is step 3. Here are the key areas to improve on. The simplest one you can do is your fitness. Get in the best shape of your life. Why? Because it's going to affect your energy levels. It's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your attraction, to like the attraction she has towards you. Get in really good shape. This is your opportunity. You got a bit of space. You got a bit of time here. Focus on your health. Focus on filling your cup. Focus on your nutrition. Focus on your sleep. Focus on training and get in the best shape of your life. No excuses. Number 2, emotional control. Learn how to deal with your emotions effectively. Your emotions are not directives. They're information for you to process. You need to learn to build the skill of observing, to be able to look at your emotions without becoming a reactive to them. Communication. Learn how to communicate effectively and build safety, trust, and connection through your communication. Now, communication is 90% nonverbal. That means the way you say things and the why as to why you are saying things is way more important than what you're actually saying. Leadership, you need to lead yourself first. Lead yourself first. Only then can she follow you. Self-leadership, structure, purpose, chores around the house, being a great father, school drop-off, school pickup, all this stuff. You need to be on top of it, and you need to be leading yourself, giving the example that she can follow. Your purpose, identify and start to pursue a purpose outside of the relationship. This is going to fill your cup again. It's going to change your outlook. It's going to give you a positive thing to focus on besides, the current situation you're in. Your purpose is extremely important as a man. And the Japanese call this ikigai, which is something, that you're passionate about, something you're good at, the world needs it, and you can get paid for it. So if you can identify your purpose through that lens of what the Japanese call ikigai, right? It's going to help you big time, especially during this time. Focus on your purpose. And then lastly here, a big area of change is fatherhood. If you have kids and you're watching this, divorce is devastating to children. Statistically, there's data-wise, there's no doubt about it. Use that as motivation to really step into your role as a father. It's your responsibility to try and save this. Clean up your side of the street. Take on extreme ownership. Start focusing on the process and turn this situation around. Your kids are depending on you. And step up as a father. Step up. Let's start really providing some structure and showing some love to your children. Okay? Focus. This is the focus. It's about becoming a better man, not getting a result. The result will always come after the work. You don't go to work and expect to be paid prior to doing any work. You have to complete the work or complete your day's work, then you get paid by the boss. It's the same thing here, the same process with saving your marriage. You need to exhibit change and be consistent with the change, show up every day, and then you get paid later. So focus on becoming a better man by following a process. Here's the 3 biggest mistakes men make when they've been told from their wives that she wants space, separation, or a divorce. Number 1, they start chasing harder. The harder you chase, the more pressure she feels, which results in her moving further away, pulling further back, being more cold, more distant. Stop chasing her, stop applying pressure. Number 2, having constant relationship talks. You cannot use logic in this situation. She's emotionally checked out. So you have to change her feelings. She needs action. She needs to see change. So having these constant relationships talks with her, bringing up the relationship, bringing up the past. Stop doing that unless she brings things up, and you can start letting her process things by providing a safe container for her verbalizing of her emotions. That's your job. That's emotional safety. But don't bring these things up. She needs to bring them up if she wants to talk about them. And number 3 here, one of the biggest mistakes men make, making promises instead of changes. Now you can make promises. That's fine, okay. But excessive promises, excessive begging, excessive, relationship talks, that's going to hinder you. If you're going to make a promise, you better follow through on it. Because words can create hope, but that's not going to save the relationship. What's going to save the relationship is consistent action that rebuilds the trust that's broken, okay? Most guys think they need a better argument, a better conversation, a better way to convince her. They don't. That's not what you need to be focusing on. You need to focus on what we've spoken about in this video. Remove pressure. Follow the correct way to give her space. Okay, then focus on the changes. This is a process here, as you can see. And after coaching hundreds of men in this literal situation, in this exact situation, this is what you need to focus on. Remove pressure, build emotional safety, and become a man that she can naturally trust again. A man she can naturally respect again through your actions, which stems from the way you think, which stems from your beliefs, your identity as a man. That's what you need to fix, your identity. And I align my actions, my thoughts, my deeds with that identity. That's where reconciliation can happen. Once you follow through on that process, once you can be consistent with that process, and you can rebuild emotional safety in the relationship. So what's next? If your wife said she wants space, separation, or a divorce, don't focus on winning her back. Focus on becoming the man she would naturally want to reconnect with. That's the foundation of every single successful reconciliation that I've seen in my program. The man very early on makes the shift from, what does she want? I don't understand what she's doing here. She's going to destroy the family, everything we've built together, all the relationship equity, the assets, the kids. What is she doing? She's lost her mind. They're emotional creatures. Change the way she feels about you, and you can change her mind about her decision. The way you do that is you focus on yourself and the way you influence the environment. So again, if your wife has said she wants space, separation, or a divorce, and you want expert guidance and support to move you towards saving your relationship and keeping your family together and preventing divorce, book a free one-on-one call with me below, and let's discuss your situation further, and we can see how I can help you and if it's a good fit with each other. This call that I'm talking about here, this free marriage crisis call here, is for men who are serious about preventing divorce and keeping their families together. Don't book this call unless you're serious about taking action here. I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time. So the call is only for men who are serious about preventing divorce. Book the call through the link below, located in the description of this video, and let's save your marriage.